Hi, my lovely bumblebees, it's Ethony, and I'm here to share with you a fantastic money magnet spell. It is such a wonderful spell to use when you want to bring a set goal or influx of cash into your life. And I wanted to use some of the tools that I get from my subscription boxes, particularly the Witch's Moon, with this spell. So thank you to the Witch's Moon. And the first tool I'm going to be using now, I had received their candle magic box, and look at this candle scrying tool. Isn't it stunning? I usually use a toothpick, by the way. If you don't have a candle scrying tool, a toothpick is more than fine, but this is just something like so unbelievably beautiful. From their candle magic box as well, I'm going to be using a white votive candle. As this is a money spell, you could use white because white is a color that is a substitute for any other color in magical correspondence, or green. But I thought, let's use some of these tools that I get, I have. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm also going to be using the enhance oil that came with that box, which is an anointing oil, and I use anointing oils for work on my body and also with candles, and it's really great for candle magic. I wanted to share with you some of the ways that I do magic so that you can adapt this spell for your own practice as well. So besides having a candle and something to carve the candle with, whether it's a toothpick or a tool, you are going to need some green paper. Now I'm going to be using, this is like a lime green, but it is a green even though it looks a little bit more yellow. I'm just going to be using a small green piece of paper because green is the color of prosperity. I am going to be using some cinnamon, and this is just from my kitchen, so some powdered cinnamon. You can use a cinnamon roll, you can use cinnamon bark, whatever you have in your apothecary, but like many of us, we have cinnamon in our kitchen, so we're going to be using this. And you're going to need a clear crystal point. If you don't have a clear crystal point, don't feel like you can't do this spell. As with all magic, you can adapt this and use this any way you want, any way you can, but I'm going to be using a clear crystal point, and I want it to be an obelisk shape because what we're going to be doing with this spell, which is a grid, is going to be sending that information, like sending that energy up, which is the point of the crystal. If you don't have a clear quartz, other stones that you may want to use are citrine, and I even have one here. Citrine is a wonderful stone for positivity and prosperity. You may want to use moonstone, which has been said to be the merchant stone and is wonderful for protecting your money as well. You may want to use green aventurine or green jade, as those two also have money attachments and energies, and tiger's eye, which is a stone of luck. So any of those, you don't have to stress, go out and buy all of them, but if you have any of those in your collection, this is a rough point, and you could use that as well as this, okay? With your intentions and your magic, that is the most important thing when it comes to casting. The other item you're going to bring to this spell are coins. So I've got lots of coins from different places in the world. There are Canadian, there are Australian, and some USA coins. So I've got 10 coins here. You can use good luck coins, but I do think having a denomination is really powerful, as that is real money and we're looking to magnify that money. You can also use cash, like as in a paper cash, if you would like to as well. It doesn't have to be gold. It can be pennies. It can be dimes, nickels, quarters, whatever you have, 10 cents, 20 cents, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. You just bring 10 coins to the spell as well. You will also need a space for this spell. So I have a little witch tip for you. I use a cutting board for my magic spells that require a space for it to live. So we're going to be creating a grid for your prosperity, and having this dedicated tray. You could use a tea tray, you could use a plate, you could use anything, but I like to use a cutting board because I can pick it up and move it without disturbing the energy of this work. The idea of this work is that you would probably start this in either a new moon, anytime during the waxing moon, all the way through to the full moon. And you would want to have this stay in your space for at least a full moon cycle. So that means the 28.1 days, you want that whole spell to stay there. Now, you may need to replace the candle because the candle may burn down, but you would just do the same operation with the candle, which is going to be carving it and anointing it, lighting it, than you would when the candle has been burnt out. Please don't leave the candle unattended, and please make sure you snuff the candle out versus blowing it out when you have finished the required piece of activating your grid. You'll also need a green or a gold pen. So green and gold are wonderful colors for money magic, and we're going to be using this as well. So those are all the sort of items, the ingredients that you're going to be bringing to this spell. I am now going to switch over cameras and walk you through everything and show you what we are going to be putting on our lovely candles. Alrighty, so we have everything that we need for this spell. I have added a few new elements to this using some more of the Witch's Moon boxes. So we're actually going to be working with one of their manifestation sigils. So I'm using January and February 2023 boxes. So this is for their candle magic one, and we're using prosperity. And as you can see, I've taken this design and I put it on another piece of paper. I created this sigil, and then I went over the black lines with some green for that prosperity. So you can copy these sigils from the screen, but I got these from the Witch's Moon, and you can also like do your own. So we're using those. There's our little piece of paper. I've got some calendula from the Witch's Moon, and I have the cinnamon that I'm going to be using. This is just ground cinnamon from my cupboard. I used my cinnamon that I had, my like organic cinnamon from my apothecary. I'm all out, so I need to buy some more, but remember, witches need to be able to adapt. So then I have my coins, my 10 gold coins. Okay. I'm also going to be using that beautiful candle carver. I love this so much. I've got a crystal point. I went over this before. You can use citrine, you can use green aventurine, jade, you can use tiger's eye. There's lots of prosperity stones, but I'm using this clear point, that will be pointing upwards. I'm using the road opener spray and the enhance oils, and you'll see how I'm going to use those. I'm also going to be using their beautiful gold altar cloth. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay this beautiful cloth. Just going to make it fit a little better. Okay, so gold is another wonderful color for money and for riches and for prosperity, so we love that. And then we have the triple moon sign with a pentacle, so we are good to go. So then the next thing we're going to do with this is place our prosperity sigil in the middle. Now this is spell. You do not have to overthink it, everybody. You don't really don't. And then you want to write down the amount that you want on your little piece of paper. You want to be, pretty specific for your manifestation. If you've just started with manifestation of money, it's good to go for an amount that's not like $20 million because you want to help bring that energy in. It builds like a snowball when you're working with manifestation and you're working with getting those energies really clear and crisp in your working. So I'm going to put $5,000. I could put more, but I think that's a good one. So then I'm going to write it, and then I'm going to say USD, and then you could also put your name in here. Okay, and you can put your date of birth. You can be very specific. So I'm just going to say to Ethony, $5,000. Love the universe. Look at that. Look at that little money love note. So then you're going to fold it in two and place it on top of this space. Now we're going to grab our candle and a little candle carver, and we're going to carve money sigils all the way through. So dollar signs, you can write, do pound signs, and it doesn't matter that wax is going to fall onto our space. We can clear that up later. So I'm just going to put lots of dollar signs. Hopefully you can see this. So while you're engraving this and doing the steps of engraving and anointing, saying this little money charm is a really good idea. So I don't know who actually originally came up with this, but the money charm is money show, money grow, money shine, money mine. Okay, money show, money grow, money shine, money mine. So if you want to do that while you're doing these steps, go for it. So I'm just going to clear this off a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to anoint the candle. So we're going to be using the Enhance oil that came with the Witch's Moon. You don't have to anoint. Basil oil is good. You can even use olive oil, but we're doing this with this special magical anointing oil. So we want to bring money to us. So we're going to anoint the candle. I've done this before on my channel, so you can go and see my Candle Magic 101 video, but we're just going into the middle, anointing the candle, and I'm only doing a little bit at a time. You don't want to douse your candle. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. They always smell good. And then down to the middle. So we're just anointing all the way around. Sorry, I hope you can see that. Smells so lovely. So this oil was made to like enhance any of your candle magic. And then I'm going to do the top because this is a little votive. You don't have to do this. I'm just going to do some clockwise circles. And again, I would be saying money show, money grow, money shine, money mine as I do that. So now we've anointed our candle. We now want to put some lovely herbs and spices. So I don't want to get magical oil in all of this cinnamon because I use it for baking. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this powder on my hands. And I'm now going to roll it in the cinnamon. So cinnamon, as I mentioned, is an amazing spice for money. So I'm just rolling it. Basil, oh my gosh, there's so many. Basil, rosemary, there's lots and lots of magical herbs you can use. But I'm going to be popping cinnamon. Okay, so let's now put our kind of grid together. So the first thing I'm going to do is put our petition down and the candle on top of it. And then I'm going to place the crystal here. And now we're going to put our coins down. So you can intuitively do this. I'm just using loonies, and you can say the entire time you're gridding this space, money show, money grow, money shine, money mine. And I'm just going to put one here and one here. Okay, the north and the south. You can do this if you don't have a candle holder. This is fine. The reason why I copied this sigil is honestly, if the candle wax melts down in it, that's absolutely fine. You can also use a candle holder if you don't want to get mess anywhere. Now I'm going to put some calendula petals in a circle around the space. Okay. Brings all of that sun energy, that solar energy, that is a prosperous energy. It allows us to have growth and life on this planet. Again, you can still be saying all those lovely words: money show, money grow, money shine, money mine. Now I'm going to breathe life into this working, and I'm going to do this in a number of ways. So we're blessing it with all of the elements. We have element of earth in the cinnamon, the wax, and in the beautiful petals, and even in the metal, the stone and the metal that's in the coins. We're now going to bless it with some water with this road opener ritual aura spray. So you can spray yourself, which I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to lightly spray the area. So that's with air and water. We've now road opened. We have a trusty lighter. I'm just going to take a moment, and when I'm doing this working, I would definitely spend some time. Money show, money grow, money shine, money mine, money show, money grow, money shine, money mine. I would build that energy up. I've done my Reiki. I would use that energy, and then I would light the candle. And then I would say, may this magical working not reverse, nor place upon me any curse. May all astrological and magical correspondences be correct for this working, as I will it, so mote it be, with harm to none, and for my highest good, so mote it be. And then I would allow this to work. You can even put some paper bills or bills of any sort underneath as well. That is definitely something that you can do. And then leave it somewhere that it's not going to be disturbed. You want to watch the flame, obviously, but I would allow that candle to burn all the way down. And then any time that I want to work with this money magic work is when I would do this again. And you can move it now because it's on the board and you won't be disturbing the grid, which is why I recommend the board. And you can use a candle holder like this one that was in the Witch's Moon if you want to make sure the wax doesn't drip everywhere. Remember your gratitude practices. Say thank you every time you have a money blessing, no matter how small or big. I hope you enjoyed this money grid spell. Please help this channel by liking, subscribing, and placing a comment below, or one of those things, or all three of those things. That would be rad. It really, really helps. And I know it only takes a few moments of your time. And I will see all of you lovely bumblebees next time.